What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back once again, it's Triple A. Back, finally. It's been a long time. Amanda, it's great to have you back on. You got to be excited about your Packers.
I mean, what a week to come back. I mean, I get busy during the summer, kids cheer. But yeah, I couldn't stay away for this one. We got to talk some trade deals.
And John, it's great to have you on again. Triple A is complete. Your Falcons getting ready to start the season. It's the best time of year, huh?
Yeah, man. I think it's first of all, I got to thank Amanda for being back. You were very highly missed. Me and
Well,
him together, but it was a couple of times that I needed somebody to fall back on because I kind of forgot, and I knew he didn't know it, so I wanted to be like, man, never mind. I had to
Oh,
come back in it, but glad to see you're back. I'm glad the kids had a great summer. I'm glad everybody's back in school. Now
yeah.
let's get to some freaking football.
Hell yeah. Let's get this thing started. So, the NFL season's finally here. It's going to start this Thursday night. We're 2 nights away. I can't wait. We're going to have a great game with the Cowboys and the Eagles. But first, Amanda, we're going to start with the huge news. And I kind of, I saw John Kuhn tweet about it the night before. I had messaged you a little bit about it, the rumors, but I was not prepared for it to actually happen, for Micah Parsons to be traded to Green Bay. You had to give up a lot to get him, but I say it's definitely worth it. How are you feeling right now?
this is one of those situations where Green Bay will be in rumors for big players. Like you'll hear like, "Oh, this person would be a perfect fit for Green Bay," and I'll always talk shit. So I'm like, "No, they would never trade up to get someone in the draft. They'd never go after the big players." I mean, this year they got the receiver I wanted in the draft. They got my number one draft pick for the team. They went after this. Like I feel like they're going for it this year. Um, and it's interesting to me because it feels like they gave up a lot, but also I feel like other pe teams would have given up a lot more to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the right situation, I feel like he could have gone for a lot more.
Right.
John, you would know this well. I mean, you talk about your first year in Atlanta and like a star pass rusher, what that can do for a team. How much of a boost do you think this will be for Green Bay?
Well, personally, I had to do my own little research because I was wondering, like, what was the biggest thing that what Michael Parsons will bring, and I looked. So in the 4 years he's played, he's won 41 games. Green Bay has won 41 games in the last 4 years.
Okay.
So he played in Dallas. So Dallas has won 43 games with him, like on the team, but 41 games when he suited up. So Green Bay was winning 41 teams without him. I mean,
Yeah.
41 games without him. So for me, it's like that's got to be something they got to see positive on because they had 41 games win without him. You got to at least add 5 or 6 games. Even if you're talking about playoff wins, where that 1 or 2 game that'll push you into the playoffs and put you way past them. And I'm thinking the Cowboys, I ain't saying they made a big mistake because I always believe in team football. I try to believe in it as much as possible. But if you watch, it's the morale that's going to really,
Mhm.
their morale is really going to have to stick together. You have CD Lamb talking trash. You have Dak, Dak got paid so much, so Dak just kind of like not saying anything. But you see a lot of the main players are kind of like, man, it's kind of BS that y'all just didn't pay him. I understand it get kind of sensitive. And I just saw something on Netflix, not Netflix, but I saw something on a little feed. They was talking about how they did Emmitt Smith the same way. Emmitt Smith sat out for a couple of games and they end up paying him after they lost a couple of games. You can't get that get back with Parsons to after 4 years. And I know how Green Bay is. He's not going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere unless he just does horrible in the last 2 years. But he got number one. It hasn't been won since 1940 something. So he's
Since
not going
Curly
anywhere.
Lambeau, I told
Yeah, he's
Alex there
not.
was no way he was getting number one.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. So
Mhm.
this is one of the biggest, and I don't think it was a mistake, but I can see one of these things that we'll talk about 20 years from now. How Marco Parsons went there, he made a name for himself, and Green Bay has the fans that I mean, he went from like the Cowboys that has one of the biggest fan bases to Green Bay, who has one of the biggest, most loyal fan bases. So his career is like solidified. Like he's a star for the rest of his life. Period blank.
Yeah, it's a great move. It's great to do it right before the season. This reminds me a lot of 2018 when my Bears traded for Khalil Mack the week before the season, and you bring in a star pass rusher like that, and it brings a jolt. Gets the entire team ready to go, feeling like they're contenders. And we saw what that did for my Bears in 2018. And this was a need, Amanda. Rashawn Gary led the team with just 7.5 sacks. So this is a big upgrade at that position.
Yeah, and Rashawn Gary's not bad. I think that the defense is going to look so much better. I mean, you got Rashawn Gary on one side, Micah Parsons the other, Xavier Picks McKinney. I mean, I'm excited to see the three of them together. What's funny to me is we have been, as Packers fans, we've been calling Dallas Lambeau Field South for 20 years now. Like they haven't won a postseason game against Green Bay since 1995. And they've only won one out of their last 10 matchups. Like every game in the like I mean, it's been a rough time for them, but to send your guy to like your biggest rival, like that sucks.
Yeah.
Like for Dallas fans, they got to be extra stung about that one.
Well, and Jerry Jones said that wasn't even a thought in his mind of worrying about trading him to Green Bay. He just wanted him out of the division. That was his only thought. But John, there should be a little bit of a thought there. Green Bay's owned them, especially in the playoffs. Why are you going to make them better? You know what I mean?
And I think the first thing I said to Amanda, I was like, why in the division? And I was talking about why still in the NFC. Like, why would you even keep them in the NFC and have to face this guy? Because it's going to, and I don't think people understand when you have a player like that, he gets to play the team that let him go. It's a whole, but it's not a whole different level just for him. It's a whole different level for everybody on Green Bay. Even Amanda's going to be ready for that game. You got to understand how the crowd is going to be sold. There'll be one jerseys all over the thing. So, it's just like common sense. Like when I got traded to the Falcons, they're like, look, we're trying to get John as far away from here as possible. We're trying to see him in the AFC. We don't want to see this mug, but we know he know everything about us. He killed our tap every day in practice. Send him to the NFC. I'm like, just send him to Atlanta. Atlanta, like, get him out of here. I mean, every team I had, it was Washington, Seattle. It was nothing that they were going to ever see me again.
So September 28th, I am going to be riveted. I'm going to be glued to that damn team.
That's going to be awesome. Are you worried at all, Amanda, about him wearing number 1, the pressure that comes with that?
No, I was surprised that they let him. Like, I get Jaden Reed. My thing is they should have just had Jaden Reed give up 11. Like, he's got a foot fresh. He's not even going to be on the field this year. Like, he didn't seem that attached to it. It wasn't like a big emotional thing. So I don't know. But wearing Curly Lambeau's number, I feel like that puts a huge chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna have to earn that number. But I think it's a good like personal like pressure to be good and to like deserve that number because that's a lot of history in that number. And we never officially retired it, so technically, yeah, it's available. But like if someone else had asked for it, like can you imagine if like a rookie was like, "Hey, I'd like to wear number 1," they would have laughed and hit. It would have been hilarious.
That's like Abdul Carter with the Giants trying to wear number 11, trying to wear Lawrence Taylor's number. It's interesting for sure, but a lot of pressure. But Micah Parsons been nothing but a pro in Dallas, and Green Bay is going to love him. He gets a 4-year, $188 million extension. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And John, Micah Parsons is making $47 million per year. That's more than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's my whole career. I'm like, look, when I seen it, at first I was kind of jealous. He got to wear number 1. I always wanted to wear number 1. He got paid that one check. It's like, Mom, you should have held off a couple of years before you had me. But it's like, but certain things that you helped build that. Like being a player I was and being in certain situations as players, we instead of feeling like, kind of jealousy or envy or something like that, you got to dude, I started that like 20 years ago. Like I just think the clip you just sent me about the guy talking about they couldn't cut anymore. I'm looking like, dude, I got cut so many times. Like Michael Parsons might have not been the same player if they could have cut and chipped and do all the crazy stuff they did back in the past. So to see a outside linebacker, a flex, or edge, or whatever y'all want to call them, getting paid like that, and they're paying people for the value of the team compared to the position now, and it is. I'm like, kudos to the NFL because it's about time because we see a lot of players that mean a whole lot more, and they might be getting $2 or $3 million because they're a center, or they might be getting way less because of their position, but they're like the guy on the team. They're the stand-up man. They're the person that everybody looks for to win a game.
Yeah.
I think Micah Parsons, Jason Kelsey, these players that are so unique and special and so good at that position are really going to help with I mean, we talked about the running back renaissance last year and how people are starting to like, give running backs the credit and the income that they're due. I think this is
Mhm.
just going to be really good because there are so many positions that are just overlooked until this one player comes along and deserves that paycheck and kind of draws more attention to that position. So I'm super excited for the money going there because I mean, you look at the difference a player like that can make on a team that's almost there, like Green Bay, who's made the
Yeah.
postseason and who's been this close. So just I mean, shout out to defensive players and hopefully this gets a little bit more attention to those somewhat underpaid and overlooked positions.
All right.
For the Cowboys side of this, they get 2 first-round picks. They get defensive tackle Kenny Clark, who's a run stopper. They already lost to Marcus Lawrence in free agency. Now they lose Micah Parsons. So you look at their pass rushers, they're working with a rookie, Donovan Ezaraku. They got Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealand. They're weak at pass rush now. And Stephen Jones said that they're going to rely on defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus to, quote, scheme up pressure. John, I just want to go ahead and pump the brakes on that for Cowboy fans. Knowing Eberflus well, good luck with scheming up that pressure.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were gonna say about him, and I thought Dante Fowler, I thought Fowler retired, so that's how weird I am. I didn't even know he was still playing. So I'm sorry. Hey, I can tell you what though, like with Dallas, I wouldn't want to be in that locker room now. But also, sometimes when you take a big name player like that, it gets everyone else back focused. It gets the guys that are around there like, F that man. We could do this without him. Not saying they can, but sometimes it focuses players in that the guy that was behind him that never got the opportunity. This is your opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so this is a thing. If I'm a guy and they didn't want to pay him. Hell, I'm on my last year of my deal too. I didn't do ish the last 3 years. I'm gonna go out here and get like 7 to 8 sacks. That'll get me 100 this year. So you got to be real with it. So if I'm a guy on the Cowboys and I'm like an end or something, I'm out there doing all shake moves. I'm trying to get them little sacks that he left out there. So that's what you got to. As the Cowboys, that's what you got to pin on. Even though you don't have the same flair, you're not going to have the same dynamics. You're not going to bring the same attention. Even if somebody goes out in Dallas and have 20 sacks, people still going to say Michael Parsons would have been better. So it doesn't really matter. You just go out there and try to get 10 sacks and get a check, bro.
Yeah, and it's going to be, Thursday night. That's all they're going to be talking about is Micah Parsons and Kenny Clark and the new look Cowboys. And they're going to be at the Eagles on banner night. Good luck with that. I think the Eagles are going to, beat up on Dallas pretty bad once again. So,
I don't know if morale's going to have time to recover between now and Thursday.
Yeah, and it's just going to be more pressure on the offense. You're asking Dak and George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb to put up 40 points, 35 points every game to be able to win. So we'll see on that. For the Packers, yeah, they're legit contenders now. They have to be the favorites to win the NFC North. And Amanda, those Lions are going to be feeling that. They've won it 2 years in a row. Packers are coming in with expectations to steal the division. Week 1, they meet up.
And I'm really hoping losing 2 coordinators sets Detroit back a little bit. I've been on the Detroit bandwagon. I really like their draft picks over the last couple of years, but Kirby Joseph has kind of had me curb my Detroit rooting a bit with some of his shenanigans last year. So, Green Bay can take the division back. I'm good with that.
Well, and they're missing 2 of their starting offensive line as well. John, the Lions, in my opinion, are the team to keep an eye on this year. They could miss the playoff. That's how my feeling on them. Losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are 2 huge coordinators to lose. They also lost a bunch of other coaches. You lose 2 of your starting offensive line. That was like the strength of their team, the O-line. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they might be taking a step back this year, and the NFC North is just getting better too.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way about them, and I feel like Kansas City is not going to be a team that we have to worry about this year. And this is my first year saying it. Since y'all know me, I've always been on Kansas City penis or vernacular. I've been on there.
Did you just say that live on the air?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, as of now, I can see them being just from the offseason watching Kansas City and even with Detroit, I think that everyone it's normal now. The things they
Yeah.
do are normal now, 4th and 1, da da da, all this extra stuff, all that intensity and that meanness and all that scary people. People aren't really scared yet. Even Chicago's feeling like they're capable of winning now. And just with small pieces getting there, like you said, it's just like they're not like when they came out a couple of years ago, we were like, yeah. Everybody wants to be that coach. Like everybody want to be like him. But now it's kind of like
I
y'all
went through a wall for Dan Campbell. Like
you're not winning. Like you didn't win a championship. Like when we wanted y'all to win the championship this year, you didn't win it this year. So we're kind of like we're moving on. You know what I mean? And Kansas City got their butt kicked, and y'all were supposed to be the team to beat Kansas City. So we're kind of over it now. So Detroit, we don't care about the D12 anymore. We don't care. Like whatever y'all do is.
Amanda, there was another number change in Green Bay. I don't know if you saw this, but
wait, quick poll. What do we think is cooler, 0 or 1? Like, do I get a golden number 0 jersey or do I get a Micah Parsons number 1?
Micah Parsons number 1.
But golden 0 just looks cool as hell. Like, just golden is cooler than
Parsons. That one gonna be.
That's gonna be nice. Yeah.
But just golden. I mean,
personally, I like 22 better. I like 22 for a receiver. I thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool, and I liked the story behind it. Like, it meant something to him. He wanted number 2, but Malik, like, I think he's going to change his number again. I think he's got another number change. He's changed it twice already. Like, I feel like he's going to shift to something else before the end of his career.
I changed my number 3 times, so I can see him doing it again.
3 times on the same team, or like as it shifted?
Twice on one team, but I kept 55. After I got 55, I was stuck with it.
Speaking of 55, that shirt is cool as hell.
5'5". Yeah, thank you.
55 Atlanta Falcons.
I got
that's attractive. Yeah.
I feel like it's cool. I don't feel like it's made for women though. I feel like
I wouldn't care if it was. I got the shit.
Well, just like the little hearts on the bottom. I feel like it's just a little too central. If you send me one, I'll wear it. But
hey, I will.
So Amanda, there's pressure now though. You can't, this isn't last year. This is the year you got to win the division. You get home playoff games, and you need to beat Detroit week 1. If you lose week 1, I'm not going to be happy with Green Bay.
Listen, Green Bay never wins week 1, so I am. For some reason, we are never the same team in week 4 as we are the first couple weeks of the season. Like we don't get our momentum until like week 7, 8, 9. Then we'll go on like a 9-game ridiculous stretch. Start getting my hopes up. I come into the season with no expectations. I'm annoyed about the draft. They didn't get my big player. This year is different, and I'm trying not to get excited, but
my Chicago Bears. Let's talk about them. They finally announced their starting left tackle is going to be Braxton Jones, the same as last year. John, we bring in a GM, Ryan Poles, who's a former offensive lineman. His whole thing is to fix the Bears' offensive line. It's been 4 years now, and we still don't have a reliable left tackle. As a Bears fan, I am so tired of this.
Well, I think it's got to do with the offensive coordinator and putting your quarterback in certain situations, whether you got to learn how to play action or even I think they should have went out and got a better back. Like even we talk about Jenny, we joke around about Jenny and everything like that. I understand y'all got a great quarterback that y'all think is going to be the best quarterback ever with Caleb, but I really feel like they should have had a 1-2 punch. Even with Trevor Lawrence, like in Jacksonville, they try to put ETN in so to make him feel comfortable. ETN hasn't planned out like exactly how we thought he was like in college. But I think you blame so much on the offensive line, just like when I talk about Atlanta Falcons. Our line isn't that great, but we have Bijan Robinson. And I tell people, like, because I had a whole conversation about he had 1,400 yards, but I'm like, he probably juked for 500. And I'm like, so if they want this team to be better, you got to surround, like, the reason why Matt Ryan was so good, Tony Gonzalez, Julio Jones, Roddy White. I mean, we had Mike Turner in the background. Like, it was just like, they just went and got people. They just went and got people, and they made them look good. And I'm not saying our offensive line wasn't good, but we didn't have no Pro Bowlers up there. We didn't have no All Pros up there. It was just guys out there fighting and scrapping. That's what you you can do that if you got the right kind of talent and got a quarterback to get the ball out your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would have upgraded running back. I think that's one of our needs. Also, defensive end. And, you see Micah go get, or Green Bay go get Micah. You got Zadarius Smith sitting at home right now. Ryan Poles is going to go around. He's going to go to 3 different college football games this weekend, but he's not going to sign Zadarius Smith. So that's what really grinds my gears, Amanda. But yeah, we should have upgraded running back. DeAndre Swift is a good number 2, but I need a number 1 back.
Were you laughing at him saying grinds my gears too? Like he's someone's 90-year-old papa? Yeah.
Never heard of him like that.
Ramps leak over here, grinding my gears.
That's a Family Guy reference.
You know what really grinds my gears?
So the Zadarius Smith thing, I was so bummed when Green Bay let him go.
Yeah.
But after all the shit talking he did, now that he's not signed, I'm like, maybe you should quit running your mouth then.
Well, it'd be nice to have him for Green Bay, for Detroit, for Minnesota,
Oh, Green Bay won't take him back. He talked so much shit after that. Like he said some, like he was tweeting personal stuff against Green Bay and how he disliked them and like no. Green Bay would never take him back after that. That bridge has been burned.
I talk about Rashawn Gary leading the Packers with 7.5 sacks. Our leading sack guy last year, Montez Sweat, just 5.5 sacks. It's something we need to upgrade. And again, Ryan Poles sitting on his hands, not getting it done. John, that's not enough sacks. 5.5 from your leading pass rusher.
He already hates Green Bay. He's a perfect Chicago player.
Yeah.
Hey, the Falcons only had 6 sacks last year. Their leading sacker had 6. So I understand exactly what you're saying. When you run the 30 area in sacks, it sounds good. Like, oh, we got 2 sacks a game. But then you see people, you got to be around 45, between 45 to probably 56 to 70. And that's high. But you got to be around that area if you're thinking about playoffs and you're thinking about winning championships.
And that's the 2 most important positions, quarterback and quarterback disruptor, pass rusher, so we'll see. Yeah, Bears versus Vikings in Chicago on Monday Night Football. Amanda, the Vikings trade for Adam Thielen, Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games, another guy going back home to his original team, Adam Thielen.
There's so many players who've gone back home this year, like veteran players. Yeah. His relationship with Justin Jefferson is the cutest shit I've ever seen. Like it's like big brother, little brother. Like you look at all the interviews where they're like a hard eyes talking about each other. It's fucking precious. I'm so excited to see them together this season.
What's your confidence in JJ McCarthy going into week 1 though? Do they need to run the ball, feed Aaron Jones, take the pressure off?
Well, I think Kevin O'Connell's going to have a fucking. I'm sorry for cursing. Kevin O'Connell going to have
on one today.
Kevin O'Connell is literally going to have to like coach his butt off. I mean, him and Wes Phillips are going to really have to make it look like we made a great decision by not letting this guy rest. I'm not rest. I'm sorry, sit another year until Dalton like messes this up. And y'all just got rid of him and threw JJ in. So this is going to be one of those years. If y'all go like really bad, like you might have a new coaching staff, but they're like, all right, well, you're not the right guy for JJ. Not even got nothing to do with as a coach, but you're just not the right guy for him. And, he's going to be here. You're not. So we need to move on. So it's going to be one of those years because you can't say they don't have the team that can do it because they just did it with somebody that said it's less. So this is going to be a lot of if and buts over here, man.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the I told you so person, but unless JJ completely shocks me this year, I think he could have used a solid 2 to 3 years under a serviceable, solid veteran quarterback like Kirk Cousins. But we saw what happened last year when I wanted them to draft him. They drafted him, and then Kirk Cousins left. And I just feel like they had the perfect scenario, and then they ruined it. And now JJ, who we've seen is a little bit accident prone and relies heavily on the run game to win his championship with Michigan, I feel like they're going to be kicking themselves a bit for the setup he has now.
Yeah, and can he stay healthy? He played in 1 preseason game last year and got hurt. One guy, though, you said solid, serviceable veteran. They do have a veteran, one of those 3, and Carson Wentz backing him up. So if J.J. McCarthy struggles, maybe we put in Carson Wentz. I'm just kidding, though.
He's just getting kind of rusty, though. Like, I feel like his serviceable backup days might have ended 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, I agree.
Cash and checks, baby.
Hey,
But
if you're going to play a position in the NFL, backup QB is where it's at. Like,
best run in the world, the best position in the world.
Yeah.
I
John,
watched too
your
much Blue Mountain
Falcons,
State.
the Atlanta Falcons going into the season, a lot of optimism. Third round picks rookie Xavier Watts has been named the starting safety opposite Jesse Bates. I know you're a fan of his.
We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be the shit right off the bat. And ESPN's Lewis Riddick predicts rookie defensive end James Pierce will lead the NFL in sacks as a rookie. What do you think?
If he starts, but I don't think he's going to start at the beginning of the year. I think he's definitely going to be one of those guys that we see have moments from a rookie year that we're going to remember for a long time, just because of being in Atlanta and not having the press that a lot of other teams have. But having Penix, having Drake London, having Bijan, you're going to get a lot of highlights. So we're going to throw him in there too. So whenever they're on a highlight, they have to say, "Oh, 2 sacks from the run guy." James Pierce. So that's a good thing to having like stars on your team besides you, because you don't have to be the main guy, but he has a sack that game. They're going to throw his name in there at the end because he's a rookie. Oh, Bijan had 140 yards rushing. Oh, James Pierce. Watch rookie James Pierce Jr. come run. So when you were like, hey, I used to love playing with Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin have a good run. I played with Mike Vick. Mike Vick had a good run. Oh, and John Abraham had 2 sacks. Hey, throw my name in there, baby. So we're definitely going to get a lot more press now just because of the guys we have. And he's going to be good, but I wouldn't say he can lead. I could say he could possibly lead the league 1 year in his career, but I wouldn't say just because it's the rookie year. It's tough to, like, besides Javon Curse, everybody trying to compare him to Javon Curse, but we're not even sure if he's going to start.
Okay. And then the Falcons did, however, lose right tackle Caleb McGarry for the season, unfortunately. Elijah Wilkinson will step in his place at right tackle, but that's Michael Penix's blind side, so kind of a costly injury there, huh?
Yeah, that's what I felt. I felt like he was going to be the main guy, especially like you just saying, being on the blind side. And people don't understand it's not a right-hand quarterback now. We have a left-hand quarterback, so he was actually important. He just signed a 2-year deal for $30 million, and got hurt. So I'm glad he signed the deal like literally a day before the injury. So I'm like, good job. Secure that bag real quick. Take a year off, come back kicking butt. But it's a situation that Penix is just going to have to be great this year. I mean, I don't care who they put in there. Penix has put a lot of pressure on Atlanta, period. Confident talk, we going to do this, we going to do this. And you're like 25 years old, so we don't see you as a rookie. You came in the league old as hell. We expect this from you. So you got to come in. Come throw this thing. Old. Hey, you came in. You a vet. You came in a vet. You know what I'm saying? So it should be a fun year for the Falcons. I'm very excited. And like I told, I guess Mike Golick Jr., I really think that James Pierce Jr. is going to take all my records down. Like the records I have in Atlanta for whatever I've done, if he can stay consistent for 10 years here or 7 years or whatever he gets and stays healthy, I can see every record I have in Atlanta gone.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, we'd love to see it. And the Falcons don't limp into the season. The season opener at home against Tampa Bay, and the two, teams fighting for that division. So that's going to be a hell of a start. Amanda, how are you feeling about Tampa Bay this year? Some people are predicting Tampa Bay to go to the NFC Championship game, if not maybe even the Super Bowl.
I'm one of the people predicting them to go to the NFC Championship. They were really close last year. I feel like they were kind of riding on vibes. They've drafted a couple players to fill in some of their gaps they had last year. Baker is just getting more confident and more comfortable with himself. He's overcome so much just drama and BS that happened to him throughout his career. I feel like they were this close last year. I mean, coming off the season with 10 wins, I feel like this year could be their year, especially looking at some of the NFC teams that are taking a step back. I mean, we've got potential Super Bowl hangover vibes. We've got the Lions, kind of starting over. It could be their year,
Yeah, I think Emeka Egbuka is a really underrated pick for them. That receiving core is loaded for Tampa Bay. How are you feeling about the division and that season opener, John?
Well, I gotta be a Falcons fan, but I don't really know a lot about Josh Gizzard. So I don't know what their implement or their new office is going to look like. Casey Rogers and Larry Foote. I got the pleasure of playing with Larry Foote, so I know what kind of guy he is. He's going to be attack defense, which Tampa and whatever Todd Bowles, whenever he goes anywhere, he makes sure his defense is attack defense. He will live and die by his defense being attacked. He don't care if they lose, they're still going to be an attack defense. And I guess them getting rid of the Sanders kid, that was probably the biggest news. But anything else I've seen, I haven't seen anything different from their squad. I mean, we think Baker's going to come in and be Baker. We don't think he's going to fall off this year. I think the Falcons are going to play better this year than they did last year, even though they had Kirk Cousins and they lost to Kirk Cousins with Tampa, but now they have a new guy, so we'll see how that is. Sometimes it's just a player can play good against one team. And so it could be that, but Tampa to me is kind of the same thing from last year, just different coordinators.
Yeah. Yep. On Friday night we got the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil. That'll be a fun game to watch. I wish this game was in LA though. It sucks for the Chargers to have the home matchup against the Chiefs be in Brazil, a neutral site. I love the Chargers. I want to see them. That division is going to be so tough. I want the Chargers to win it, but I just feel like they're not quite ready. And I honestly, I'm very high on the Broncos this year, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to take a huge step back. I still think they're going to be very competitive. What do you think, John?
Well, first of all, they ain't gonna be able to leave their hotel room, so they ain't no home or away games. I guarantee you, they got security all the way around everything. So it's just like home games for everybody. It's like they ain't got nothing to worry about. They ain't nothing popping off in Brazil. They ain't going to do no sightseeing. They ain't seeing no cool. They ain't doing none of that. So that's the big thing for me. But I think, like I said, Kansas City, I don't think it's going to be that team this year. I just don't feel it. I feel like you go through a down slope, and I feel like, Kelsey might retire. Then you're going to see Pat Holmes just elevate again. Because even with the new hairstyle, even with the offseason, the kids are growing now. So he just had another one now. His wife just turned 30. He is still a kid. This dude's 29 years old. So we're going to see this guy probably about 12 to 13 more years. And we're going to this is probably the fall off, kind of like, okay, Kelsey getting married and all this stuff is happening. We got our little saga, just like with Tom Brady, he had his little saga, did all that. Then next thing you know, oh shoot, Tom Brady's back. He's focused. He got his hair growed out again. And that's what we got to look for in Kansas City. I just think now is not their moment, especially how good the teams are getting in the NFC. Like, Philly was, I'm not saying Philly wasn't a great team, but we didn't see them as being the greatest team in the NFC last year. And they won the Super Bowl. So it's not like they're playing the NFC teams from the past. These teams are like molding together.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, Alex, how many times did we message each other during Chiefs games and be like, do the Chiefs suck now? Like, does Patrick Mahomes suck? Like, what is, like, and it wasn't even like in a shit talking way. It was just like, it's not like the magic, the chemistry, it just wasn't there. Like, Patrick Mahomes overthrowing receivers. I mean, we've got Rashee Rice getting suspended again. I mean, there's the vibes are not there. The chemistry seems to have fallen off a bit. And I mean, I think Abe is absolutely right. Like Tom Brady had his dad bod years where he like kind of stepped back a little bit. Like he came into the league kind of hot, did his thing, and then there were a few years where he stepped back and there was some movement and a little bit of personal life stuff going on. And I feel like that's what's going on with the Chiefs. And I think he's absolutely right. Like give him 4 or 5, 6 years or so, and he's going to be making another, the conversation about the dynasty coming back again. But it just does not feel like the Chiefs here with everything that's going on.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs navigate this. How long is Andy Reid going to continue to coach?
As long as they have Andy Reid, I still have faith in them to pull out some end of season BS and sneak some shenanigans off in a postseason game like they're apt to do. But I know you love the Chargers. You've liked their draft. You love Harbaugh. Like you've had a thing for the Chargers. I just don't think they're going to be a week 1, week 2 blowout kind of team. I think they're going to take a few games to kind of fall into it because they have so many young players on the team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Mahomes to see if he bounces back. He didn't have a great year last year. He threw the pick 6 in the Super Bowl that we all remember. It'll be interesting. But I'm really high on the Broncos. They are loaded defensively. Sean Payton is doing wonders with Bo Nix. I think Denver might win that division. John, you said the Chiefs might not win it. Who do you think wins it? You think Denver, LA?
Well, I'm gonna bring a name that I haven't talked about like in forever, but Joe Lombardi. He's gonna be the reason that if Denver's gonna be great. And it's crazy because if you know Joe, which I met Joe in '06 when he was here in Atlanta. Dude
Nice.
got 7 kids. Like went to the military, did all the stuff, and you know his granddaddy is Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, he doesn't live off that name. He lives off being just a good coach. And I think him going from being with, they got to get. They're trying to get Drew Brees. They're trying to get Drew Brees because he was with Drew Brees for 4 or 5 years, and Sean Payton's now in Denver, so he has the mentality of putting up 5,000 yards in the season.
Yeah.
They got to get it from that quarterback. So it's kind of tough. You want that same mind thinking like you had with Drew. You want all this right here. I haven't seen that with his quarterback. I've definitely seen an athletic quarterback in him, but I haven't seen a Drew Brees like, I used to hate playing Drew because that ball was coming out so quick. I don't care who it was coming out. He was going to get 400, 500 yards in the game just because he throw it so quick. So, but I don't see that yet in their quarterback. But they have the right. They have the right offensive guys there, though. I'm saying coach-wise.
Well, and they were the number one defense last year, right? And they only got better. That defense is going to carry them, and they keep talking about running the ball a lot too with RJ Harvey and those guys. So we'll see. But
Can I just say something wild real quick? How fucking crazy would it be if the Raiders won the division?
Yeah, and they're not going to be bad.
I mean, Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett, both have something to prove. Like, it would just be a complete fever dream and it would be crazy. I'm sure it's not going to happen, but no one has even considered them. Like, they didn't even come up till right now. Like, how wild would it be if everybody else just kind of like fell off? The Raiders went on a tear. Like, that would be like NFL movie cinema.
Especially in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but it would be a fun story.
Geno has made a storybook out of his life so far, though. So
how do you root against Geno? I mean, even when I was at the Green Bay at Seattle game and they were kicking their butts, I mean, he's just such an interesting character. Like I couldn't root against him personally. His team, yes. Him, no.
Yeah, Geno, Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Brock
The
Bowers.
Staff is insane. Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers, love him. Like they've got some talent. Brock
just
Bowers.
When you think Raiders, all you think about is fumbles now. Like whenever I think Raiders, I think, oh, that's a fumble. I don't even think about interceptions. I think turnover. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, turnover. So I'm trying to get into my mind as Vegas being great, but all I can think is turnover.
The team is going to look very different this year. The coaching staff is different. The quarterback situation, the receive, like they have made so many roster moves, and because they won 4 games last year, nobody has really like paid attention.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've been very under the radar. But like looking through this roster, none of these players were here last year.
Yeah.
Obviously Max Crosby because he's never going to.
Yeah, for sure. What was I going to say here? Oh, Sunday Night Football is a great one in week 1. Amanda, I know you're excited. It's a playoff rematch, the Ravens and the Bills in Buffalo. This game is going to be must-watch TV. And the battle of the two, the top 2 MVPs this year. So it should be a lot of fun on NBC.
I love that they did that rematch for week 1. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
If you had asked me what game should be, I mean, if Green Bay and Dallas were playing, obviously put that one there. But otherwise, that matchup is going to be beautiful.
And John, I think Lamar is still thinking about not getting that MVP award, that playoff loss. I got the Ravens in Buffalo in week 1.
Yeah, I wish they would have waited, though, man. I kind of wish I had this game at game 8. Whether the season was kind of, we can kind of see how they're looking now. Because if we see them now and both of them suck or both of them playing really well, we won't see them play again till way later. So I would like to see like at week 8, like they're like 6-2. Lamar's having a great year. Josh having a great year. Then they battle like week 8, and then they take a
Let's see
little
who
break
you
off.
really are. Yeah.
Yeah. The
But
first
from a
game,
marketing, like my background's in marketing though, but from a marketing PR, like you want that big matchup, you want that big postseason rematch. You gotta have
the start of the season.
you gotta have one of
Yeah.
those. Like what other rematch would have been good TV?
Kansas City and Philadelphia would have been good for me. I would have took that just because it was a Super Bowl. I know it's way
Yeah.
it was a good game to me just to see them play again because they got beat so bad in the Super Bowl.
So
I would like
bad.
to see if Kansas City was going to be good this year. Are they back to the new Kansas City? That would have been a good little kickoff. But I do, when you say it in perspective, is that is a great matchup to say to get the season started off and get people ready to watch football again. That is a good game. But I would like to see them play later in the year so I can kind of see how they're doing, and then the intensity is like up, 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 up.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get another playoff matchup out of them too. That would be ideal.
I'm excited for that Eagles Chiefs rematch September 14. Like it's gonna be interesting.
I hope the Eagles blow them out again. Just
I
kick
know.
their ass.
And I feel like Kansas City is going to come into it like the fans just cocky, like, no, we had an off game, like we're ready, and they're going to lose by 40, and it's going to be hilarious. That's the dream.
Right.
John, we talk about the NFC South. This team, I think, is going to be the worst team in football in 2025, the New Orleans Saints. They named Spencer Rattler the starting quarterback. Kellen Moore is the rookie head coach. I think this team is going 3-14. I think they're going to be terrible. What do you think? I mean, how do you draft a quarterback in the second round and he can't win the starting job?
Well, I think everyone feels the same way about New Orleans, and I'm trying to be nice as I can, but it's nothing you see on paper. And I like Rattler because he's a Gamecock guy, but at the end of the day, I'm a Falcons, and it's the Aints, and it'll always be the Aints. I don't care how good or bad they are. It's like this year, even the Saints fans can't even be really like, oh yeah, we're going to, because like I promise you, I know Saints fans that think they're this and this, but they can't even honestly say like what they're going to do. They try to, oh, we still got Kamara. He ain't never had 1,000-yard rushing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all acting like, oh yeah, for your fantasy now, fantasy football, he's the man. But I'm like, y'all ain't putting that up. And you look at whatever name, Show, Doe, whatever, he ain't gonna play probably this year. And if he plays this year, it's just like you see one clip of him from the thing, and it's like, dude, that's really him. So it's like nothing y'all can say. Like even you try to break down the receivers they have. Okay, you have a lot, but I don't even know if he's going to be playing good this year because the preseason he looked like trash, and I'm looking like, dude. So I don't know what they're going to do. Like they might be great, but I think their mentality is not there. And I think Kellen Moore just took the job just to get a job. I don't think he really looked at the paperwork and looked at what team he was getting. Like, okay, and he might have thought he was going to get Shiloh. He might have thought he was going to get Sanders. And at least I can live through a hype year, and at least people will come. But then they give me that. If as a coach, I'll feel just like Belichick right now. Hey, Belichick came out there with 10-0, baby. Woo-hoo. 48. Oh, my God. So, hey, Lord, UNC, I feel, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to slap out because I know he felt.
The jokes about the gaps between those numbers and his age gap relationship, I was dying. So good for social media.
Yeah, well, the only good news for the Saints is do it. Suck this year. Tank. Go 3-14, 2-15. Get that number 1 pick and draft a quarterback, whether that's Arch Manning or Garrett Nussmeier or your guy Lenora Sellers from South Carolina. Any of those guys would be a big upgrade.
Like all them
I don't
guys,
know about Arch after this week.
He'll bounce back.
I know.
Was
I'm just talking shit. We don't count week 1 against.
All those guys might be in for 4 years though. Like Norris, his head is kind of really set on him, but I do think he made a good push for Heisman if he stays healthy and plays like he did in that game. But I think Arch, people got to understand this is the first game of the year.
Yeah, and the shoes. That's a tough.
He's a man, and he can go out here and have an 8-6 record this year, and they still gonna be like he's the best player. They're gonna find a way to still get him out there, so he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, Eli had some terrible games at points in his career, and we still remember him as a Hall of Famer.
I mean, Brett Favre had some
Yeah,
terrible games in his career.
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Um,
everyone has
the,
a rough game.
Yeah.
Amanda, how are you feeling about the Dolphins? They trade away Jalen Ramsey. They're just completely different this year. And I don't have hardly any faith in this team. I think they're going to be bad. They're going to miss the playoffs. And I think Mike McDaniel gets fired.
I mean, their offense has been held together with duct tape and concussion protocol for how many years now? And now,
Yeah.
I mean, I like Rasul Douglas, but he's kind of coming to that point in his career.
They brought in Minka Fitzpatrick, brought him back, but they got like Storm Duck as their starting corner. I mean, John, I just don't see it with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think they just got Judon too. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't. It seemed like they're trying to save their checks or something for something else because it's like I don't see any name
Yeah,
that's protruding off the paper. Yeah, I don't see anything that's going to make me want to watch them this year. Maybe Tyreek Hill come out and he got a divorce. Maybe he'll come out and ball out this year and put his name back on it.
his
I don't know.
baby
It's like
drama is done, so he can focus.
there's not a lot of there's really when you think about football, you think about them in New Orleans. We just talk about two teams. They might be the two worst teams in the league next year. Because the AFC East is looking good this year. With
Yeah.
New England's looking good, the Jets are looking better, and they got Buffalo. I mean, so Miami is literally on the bottom. Like I can't see them really beating any of those other three teams.
Yeah, and speaking of the Patriots, I love this Patriots team this year. Last year, I was all over the Chargers, and to me, it's all about the head coach. The Chargers hired Jim Harbaugh. I was a big Chargers fan. This year, Mike Vrabel, and I think that's going to do wonders. He brings Josh McDaniels with him. Drake May is going to continue to develop. I love the Travion Henderson pick, and I just think the Patriots are going to be. They might make the playoffs. I think they might be a 10-win team this year. What do you think, Amanda?
I don't have faith in them. I don't think it's going to be that much change this soon. I think it's going to be a build it back year or two vibe. I don't think it's going to be an instant change. I do think they're going to bring the right vibe to the team and they're going to start restructuring with the new coaching staff, but I don't think it's going to be
Hey,
I don't think it's an easy fix.
well, I'm going to use the Patriots to catch you in picks this year. That's my bold prediction too, John. It was cool for the first year. It was even cool for the second year, but I can't let Amanda keep getting away with this. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to win the picks this year. I'm just going to go ahead and come out with it before we start the season.
Yeah, I ain't making that bet.
Yeah,
No,
Is it
I'm good.
29 games that I ended the season with ahead of you?
you kicked my ass last year. Last year was bad.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, Alex is starting his season out with a bad pick. Just there. Let's run that.
Um, John, how about your New York Jets, your second team? They look like they're going to be a lot better. Aaron Glenn, Justin Fields. I think the Jets are going to be more competitive this year too.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to definitely lead the team. I just feel like Aaron Glenn with the defensive mindset, and I am biased. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard to like. I played with this guy, and it's hard to bet against him. I know what kind of leader he is, and even going to the facility. I went to New York maybe a couple of weeks ago. It's a different vibe. The
Yeah.
confidence is there in the whole team. Like just walking around, the guy seems so focused. I talked to Williams and Quentin. I talked to Quentin. He's big as I don't know what. I didn't know he was a fan of mine. They're just name dropping over there. So, but yeah, I got to see them practice against the Giants, and it's like two different levels. Like the Giants, I don't think they're going to be a good team this year. Even though I talked to their head coach too, it's like it just seemed different. He like the both, he just seemed too relaxed. Aaron seemed like it's a business. Like this is our business. This is what we need to do. And it just seemed two different like type teams. Like it's kind of like the Jets were crisp, and it was kind of like the Giants were just practicing. If that makes sense. And I know it sounds bad because it's practicing, but it was like the Jets were like fine tuning. Like
Mhm.
they had, everybody wanted to see Dart and everybody wanted to see Russell Williams, pull the ball down and run and everything. And everybody want to see Jameis Winston make a stupid joke or something. But it was just like, it was just two different teams. You seen like the Jets when they made plays, it was like, yeah, let's go. It wasn't just like, hey, Jameis, stupid. It was not like that. So it was a different mentality when you seen the two New York teams.
Well, and Amanda, he talks about Quinnen Williams, and they also traded for Harrison Phillips. So they got 2 run-stopping defensive tackles. They got Steve Wilkes as defensive coordinator. I like what the Jets are doing, and I think Justin Fields can be serviceable and win games.
I think Justin Fields just needed a team built around him and, coaching staff that was going to put the energy into developing him instead of just moving on to the next guy like Chicago does year after year. So I do think that the threshold for him is pretty high. But I think they're making the right moves with, the changes in coaching staff. They're trading for the right players. That's another matchup that would have made a great Sunday night football in week 1. If we thought the Steelers were going to be ready to go.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go. Don't you worry about that.
I don't know. I don't.
Aaron Rodgers, this isn't the Jets, Aaron Rodgers. This is the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers.
No, but that's my point, is like, if we thought these two teams were going to be in the postseason, yeah, have them butt heads together. This is awesome. The veteran quarterback moved to another team, but I don't think either of these teams are going to be postseason teams. So this is why it's not Sunday Night Football. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and John, you announced the pick of Mason Taylor. I think he's going to be a great fit for Fields and really help open up that offense too.
Well, I didn't see much at the practice, and I was kind of, looking for him just like I looked for Bergeron when I seen him, because you kind of take a little liking. You want to make sure, that you are that guy. And for me personally, it was just a gift to be able to, call Jason Taylor's son, another guy, great defensive player, and I got to call his son name. And so that is something that, that's part of my history now. Like, hopefully I'm hoping both of these guys be Hall of Famers because I can say, yeah, I called him and, I called him. I think with the Jets, it's going to have to be Allen and what Breece Hall does, because it's got to be a good running game. And I think people have really taken what the quarterback does to a whole different level. And it seemed like watching Saquon last year, showing that they control the ball game. Just like controlling the clock. Because I remember when they played, even when they played Atlanta, they lost the game, but the clock was 40-20. They just made some turnovers. And you see a lot of games that you'll see 36-24, you'll see 40-20, and those are the games that you want to see. And I think if the Jets can implement that kind of situation, because Allen he's a rock, man. If you've seen this dude in person, he scared the ish out of me. I was just like, dude, what is that? It was like, oh, that's that running back. I said, that's the guy. I'm like, so they want him to be the starter. So if they can control that, and if Aaron Glenn takes it back to running the power plays and running the stuff that all these guys want to get up the field now, just punch it in the mouth, punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, the power mixed with Fields' elusiveness, keeping the ball running out there. I agree 100%. So all right, let's do our predictions and get out of here. As of right now, what's your Super Bowl prediction? I've got mine. I'll go ahead and say it. And this is sacrilegious for a Bears fan to say, but Amanda, I'm gonna say it. So be ready.
Don't say it. Change it right now. No, you're gonna jinx it.
Be the Packers against the Steelers in the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna beat the Packers and retire as Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
What's yours now?
That would be a movie.
Yeah.
The team he beat in the Super Bowl last time.
Oh, I like MVP. That. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, the 2011 Super Bowl. We beat the Steelers. That would be the perfect career trajectory. Like, just wrap it up with a nice little bow, retire. Is absolutely not going to fucking happen, but
What do you think, John?
John, who's your matchup?
Give me Philly and Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson is finally going to get over that hump. And this might change next week. So I'm telling y'all now. So this is right now. But next week, this might change in 1 week. I just got to see a little more football. I didn't see a lot. But give me Philly and give me the Baltimore. And I'll say, I think Philly edges them out, though.
Nice. I know Amanda's AFC team. I'm just interested to see her NFC team.
For the same, I think Buffalo this year. I think they've been this close. They're almost there. I think for the same reasons you think Lamar is almost there for Buffalo.
Yeah.
They've been so close. They just needed a couple spots filled, a couple positions, perfected a little bit. I think they've been so close, and they have the talent to do it this year. So I'm gonna say Buffalo, and I am gonna say Green Bay because they have just had a weird kind of magic a couple postseasons now with Jordan Love, and we needed a good receiver. Matthew Golden is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And we needed someone to bolster the defense, and we've done that. So I mean they addressed the issues and they went after the players that we needed. And this is the first time I've ever seen Green Bay be so aggressive in going after what they want and what they needed. So it feels like a Green Bay year, and I'm giving myself goosebumps talking about this shit. But that is, and I will say Green Bay winning the Super Bowl just because how the fuck could I pick anyone else? Like,
All right, and then with the season starting on Thursday night, Cowboys at Eagles. Are we all going Philly at home?
yeah.
Same. So hopefully it's a decent game. Hopefully the Cowboys put up some points, 34-28, something like that. But I hope the Eagles might blow them out. We'll see.
I feel like it's going to be like a 36-21, a couple Cowboys players getting ejected. Like, I feel like they're going to be in their feelings for this one.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think just because Philly always starts off slow. They like the last couple of years, they've been like the offense kind of started off a little slow, and Saquon's still a little
They
tired.
could be coasting right now too.
Yeah,
They're comfortable.
they had a hell of an
They're
offseason.
Yeah.
They had an offseason, man. They can rest for like one game and just get back into it. No,
They've been eating nachos and relaxing, chilling on boats and shit, like putting on a couple of pounds.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was great to get the crew back together. AAA, the first of many. The season's here, and this is our kickoff show. And we'll be back to recap week 1 next week. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks, John. Thanks, Amanda. And peace out, guys.